The Big Call with Bruce, Tuesday, January 31st, 2017, Intel only. From Bruce, welcome everybody to the Big Call. I am glad you all are on the call tonight. It is a good time for us. What we try not to do on the Big Call is to call it because we have been so close based on the intel we have that we were right there. We all thought that based on the intel provided then something would take us away from it. These days it is more accumulative. We know we are at a certain point of Iraq or USN gold standard and all these things happening outside. I want you to know, even though we can't call it, we can say right now that in the past it was never the intention of the previous administrative to let this go. I never wanted to admit that was the case. We came to find out after the president left office that was the case. He never had the intention to let it go. It was said because I think hurt a lot of people that voted for him, that believed in him and so on. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't going to happen under his watch period. We are in a new administration and President Trump is with this and behind this and in position to help put this through. I think we can rest in that and feel good that now we have an opportunity for our blessing to come. Did I think a year or two ago we had to wait until the very end of January or first couple days of February? Of course not. I would think you were nuts if that the case, but here we are the last days of January and a lot of information has came through pointing in the direction we are looking for. In Iraq, in the laws they have passed, their Chi cards that are charged and working all over the world at a rate in the $4 range. We know Dr. Shabai stated the Iraq dinar could support a rate of $16. We know there is a valuable rate going to be higher than we thought it would be. The last rate before United States crushed their economy was $3.22. So we thought should be at $3.22 or higher. If oil is at $16 a barrel, then it could be at a higher rate. We know that is the case with inflation and price of oil. We are looking at a higher rate. In Iraq, China made a gift of the Iraqi flag, which is 38 feet tall by 60 feet long. It has been flying steady in its location in a nice section of Mosul for days now. It is a good sign. It is iridescent, lit up by spotlights, and seen from a long ways away. It is a beautiful image for them, and they have a statue near that flag which is also a gift from China. That is a beautiful comparison to our Statue of Liberty that was a gift from France to the United States. We are happy Iraq has their sovereignty back, their currency back, able to open up and be tradable across the world. We are looking for a final announcement that states that fact and the liberation of Mosul. Yesterday at 3 p.m. in Mosul there were 500,000 leaflets dropped out of airplanes telling the people it was safe for them to come out and that they had liberated Mosul. That information was put out by leaflet dropped by plane. When will we find out about that? We might find out it tomorrow of the liberation of Mosul. Hopefully so. That will allow the trigger to discuss the rest of what Iraq is doing in the international asset gold-backed currency. What about us? We had heard things the other day of documents signed to bring us to the gold standard. We believe those documents have been or are being executed and we should know about it in short order. We believe the USN and TRN are digital and digitally backed by the gold standard. That is really gives that digital value that it is backed by gold standard and other assets. That is why we call it asset back even though we are turning back to the gold standard. It is no longer just a currency based on the full face and credit but the assets themselves giving it value. That is true for everyone around the world. We know just a day or so ago we understood that we have returned to the Basel III compliance. For example, there was a nice video conference call between the number one bank in 4 cities that was on to discuss such issues of Basel III compliance and repopulation of rates on screens discussed. We feel we are in good place of what we know. Basel, Switzerland. It is a beautiful city. It is kind of thing that the last couple of weeks some of the banks have been doing some exchanges at teaser rates so they could get their Basel III together, but we had some banks not in compliant. Then they regained that compliance due to the fact some of the gold bonds were traded and hydrated where additional equity could be assessed for these banks. My understanding is we are Basel III compliance in the United States now. We are at that level. The next level is Basel IV. I know it has to do having certain percentage asset liquid, the limit goes up higher. Positive thing for us in terms of the banks being strong enough to have liquidity at that extent. Positive thing for everybody banking with the United States banks. Very excited about that. We understood Iraq's CBI site has not shown a new rate on spreadsheet for 30 days. Their law says it has to be posted on their sites no longer than 30 days. We are right there or should be there in a matter of day or two having that rate updated on their site, the CBI site. What about the UN operational rates? That is something that should show after midnight tonight EST when we go into February 1st between midnight or 2 we should have new UN operational rates show as well. If they do show changes in the currencies in the first basket that should be significant for us. Banks have been populating their rates, sequencing each other to have that unification between all the banks. In the last couple of days there has been some dry runs or tests, dress rehearsal of this going. A couple of those. That is very positive. It shows the testing is ongoing. They are ready. It is just a matter of the release being brought through. We have been on a standby status with our redemption centers for a number of days now. Then we went to an active status. The final status is going to be engage. When we go from active to engage, that is when we truly are ready for the doors to be open for our exchanges to begin at that time. Should be go time for us. We heard certain subgroups and people have been paid the last few days and weeks, but people haven't had full access to their funds. That is what we are looking to happen at same time when we get notified with 800 numbers. A shotgun start for all of us. Those who have exchanged already will see money in their accounts approximately the same time the prosperity packages will go out and we get a start to set appointments for our exchanges. That is really where we are right now. The memos to go at exchanges for Wells Fargo and HSBC are in prep mood for that memo to go out to change status from active to engage. They are in preparation for that and when ready will be set out. I want to thank those banking institutions, 1,200 of them, who asked for our call last Thursday. We talked about the banks partnering with Wells Fargo and HSBC. In Canada, Royal Bank of Canada, TD Bank, and Scotia Bank. We are looking forward working with those banks. Also Chase, Citibank, and Bank of America. All these Tier 1 banks. Also Tier 2 and Tier 3 banks such as Fifth Third Bank, SunTrust Bank, and other hometown banks. What is interesting is we actually have the 800 number usable in North America and Canada but also tied in with ATT to utilize in Puerto Rico and Central America and Mexico. Can't speak of South America, but I know as far as Central America using Mocha Pocha which is in partnership with HSBC. Those in Brazil, in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, you have a number of HSBC locations in those cities and other cities in Brazil. Be checking if you are in South America. Do check locations online for branches for HSBC if you are international. Mocha Pocha will be working directly with HSBC. Also Scotiabank also will be. They have branches in the Caribbean islands. Keep that in mind. The initial 800 number will work for those areas in Central and South America possibly as well. Also Puerto Rico will be able to use that number as well. So that is good for Blue Wolf and others there in Puerto Rico. We want to have a good relationship with our banking partners. They will be strong banks because of Basel III compliance and the plan to rework the Dodd-Frank Act. Diversification is always good. No one will find fault with you moving funds to other banking locations. We can't forget our banking partners in the Far East, AIIB, who brought large trans-CHES in play to give us the funding to back our exchanges through AIIB, People Bank of China and number of trusts based in the Far East. All of that is going through in a beautiful way. I want to thank our banking partners AIIB that have a presence in the United States as well and in number of cities. I think that will increase. I am excited where we are. We have heard positive things of today and tonight. Positive things that have been put out about the Paris Agreement and when it needs to happen. The date is Thursday, February 2nd. A lot is happening that should transpire now and then. If somebody is just hanging on, just hang on a bit longer. We had communication of someone that is going to give up. Don't give up. You have a lot invested in time, resources, planning, etc. It is not the time to give up but press forward and to have vision. Realize that we are close. I am positive in terms of our timing and good shape for this to go through. We need to stay patient a little bit longer. Just enjoy the wait a little bit longer. We had an average of 214 redemption centers per call listening in, and I appreciate all of you that are on the other side of the table. Those working hard waiting for us to come into the redemption centers. I am excited about that. Thank you to my team for tonight, Sue, Bob, Pastor Stephen, and Kent behind the scenes. We are blessed and looking forward to the next few days for this to go through for us. Just realize what we are going to do is so humanitarian based in terms of the projects and the work we have intention to do. We have major plans including rebuild America by adopting a town, city, community starting with infrastructure. If we negotiate our ZIM rates we can go there, just make sure to let the people know you want this rate for not just yourself but all the humanity you will affect. If you don't have your own project you can use Rebuild America. If you mention us, the big call, that we are doing this together. We are looking for 100 cities per state. We will start in our areas that need the help. The president talked about doing major things for the inner cities. We will do the same thing. A mentorship program where people can work alongside as interns with professional builders, electricians, plumbers, welders, etc. We are going to try to mentor the people, create jobs, build infrastructure, longevity with our projects. So you will be able to ask for a rate higher than the screen rate of the ZIM. We would like to partner with you. We will do calls as podcast, online opportunities. I am looking forward to putting out calls with new information as Sue is. I am excited to be part of it. Thank you all for coming in tonight and all the listeners for staying faithful. Just hang in there a little bit longer. All I heard last few days is all positive for us. Looking forward to getting the 800 numbers that we would put out on a pre-recorded call. Looking forward to Thursday call if it doesn't come out before then. Thank you everybody. Stay tuned. Good night.